Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, and it's the 1943 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. Now some of these are 1943 pennies and some of them aren't, but if you ever got a 1943 penny that looked like this one or this one, you would have a huge amount of money. Now you might remember that 1943 is the year that they made the steel pennies. The only penny in U.S. history that actually is very, very magnetic. So if I put my magnet on over here, picks the penny right up. But guess what? Doesn't pick this penny up. Why is that? Because this is a 1944. If you did have a 1944 penny and it was steel, like the ones they made by mistake, that would be worth $1 million. And then this one over here is a 1942. If you had a 1943 penny that was bronze like this, because they made a number of 1943 pennies that were bronze by mistake, they used the wrong planchet and they weren't steel, those are worth anywhere from $200,000 to $1 million or $1 million+ themselves. So if you ever got a penny like that looked like this, but it said 1943 on it, and you put the magnet on top of it, and it didn't come up, then you'd know you had a bronze 1943 penny. And a 1943 bronze penny is just one of the most exclusive coins in U.S. penny history. But let's get these ones out of the way, and let's look at the regular pennies from 1943. So here's a 1943 S down here. Here's a 1943 S up there. Let's put these together. If you ever get a 1943 penny that looks like this one here on the left, you know that it's almost of no value. Let's tip it up. Let's tip it up and look at it. If you get one like this, it means that it probably was recoated or zinced and on top of the steel to make it look better. They didn't come out looking this good. There's none that look this good or this shiny. So if you get one of these, you know it's of no value, or maybe it's just like maybe small collector's value to talk to people about what you never do to a coin. You never take a coin and put stuff on top of it or clean it because the collectors just don't want them. What about this one here? Well, this one might be worth $1 or $2. It's a 1943 S from the San Francisco Mint, and this is how they're going to look in general. You might get one a little bit more shiny than this, but you'll never get one as polished as that other one we looked at. E pluribus unum on the back, 1 cent, United States of America, and you see the wheat ears on each side here. It's a smooth edge coin, but guess what? It's steel, so it rusts. And so sometimes you get these rust spots on there. At the very bottom of the coin, you can see, if you get a good one, you can actually still see the initials V, a D, and a B for Victor David Brenner, who engraved the original coins in 1909. It says, "In God we trust" above Lincoln, "Liberty" here, 1943, and then there will be the mint mark underneath. In 1943, at the San Francisco Mint, they made 191.5 million pennies. There are some San Francisco Mint pennies that are worth as much as $138,000, at least at an auction. If you want to get the best general 1938 San Francisco Mint penny, PCGS rates it at about $27,500. In addition to San Francisco, they made this coin at 2 other mints. They made the Philadelphia Mint, and the Philadelphia Mint will have no mint mark on it, right down here underneath the 1943. And at Philadelphia, they made 685 million. The best of these zinc-coated steel pennies has sold for as much as $218,500. The current high value, however, from PCGS is a Mint State 68 Plus. They found 3 of them, and they're worth about $35,000. They made these coins at the Denver Mint also, and you can see this one's pretty beat, but you can still see the D on there. At the Denver Mint, they made 218 million. The auction record for the Denver Mint is $14,400. But PCGS says they found some Mint State 68 pluses, and those are worth $16,500 each. They found about 6 of them. Now you may get some varieties of this Denver Mint coin. You can get what they call the D over D variety. So this one isn't the D over D. We can tell there's nothing underneath this D. But the D over D variety is worth about $20,000 if you get it in prime condition. And finally, there are those ones that are this color but are from 1943. There's a number of different varieties of the 1943 bronze penny. In the 1940, another way that you can tell the 1943 penny is that the 1943 bronze penny is that it weighs more than the steel pennies. The steel pennies weigh 2.7 grams. The copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams. So if you got a 1943 penny and you weren't sure, just put it on a scale and you'll see that if it weighs 2.7 grams, it's a steel penny. Or use a magnet, and if it comes up, it's a steel penny. If it weighs 3.11 grams and the magnet won't pick it up, then that means it's probably a 95% copper, 5% zinc or tin penny, which is often called a brass penny. Often called a bronze penny. If you get the bronze penny from 1943, a mint state 63 red is worth about $1 million. If you get the bronze penny, but it's a kind of mix of red and brown, then that one would be worth as much as $500,000. And then if you get a 1943 penny, which is a brown color, that could still be worth as much as $435,000. Any of these pennies that are from 1943 that are bronze are going to be worth probably $200,000 or more. So look through your 1943 pennies. If you get a really shiny one like this, you can almost guarantee that it has been re-zinced. And often with the re-zinced, you can tell because just the markings on the side like this indicate that they put it over the top of an older penny. If you got one like this and it hadn't been re-zinced, then you could be talking about $100,000+, but there's very, very few of them out there. All right, well, that's all we have today from the Big D Coin Channel. Look for these 1943 pennies. Bring your magnet or bring your scale if you ever see one that has a brown color to it. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.